Okay, so we've spent some time looking at the power rule and finding the derivatives of radicals and rationals and lots of the fun ways that you can rewrite those functions as powers of x. And so now we're going to start looking at the product and quotient rules. They are much harder to prove. So there is a nice proof for them, but you don't have to know it for calculus AB. So we're just going to go ahead and state them and use them. I used to give two different forms of this rule, which is why the space is so big, but it doesn't need to be so big. Basically, what happens is if you have two functions being multiplied together, f times g, and you want to take the derivative of them, unfortunately for us, it's not just as simple as finding their derivatives separately and then multiplying them, but you end up with f times g prime, so the derivative of g, plus g times f prime. So you basically take your first function times the derivative of your second function plus your second function times the derivative of your first function. I will show you a way that I kind of remember this. And you can laugh at me all you want. But basically what happens is I write out my functions. So I'll have f and then I'll have g. And I will find f prime and g prime separately. And so I'll write them all in a row just like this. And then I say that when we find their derivative, I do crisscross. And so you can write this out if the words will help you remember it. So criss, cross, and then I say, instead of applesauce, I say addle sauce. Because that's how you find it, right? You do f times g prime plus g times f prime. And so I crisscross addle sauce. So you remember you add them together. So let's try it with an example. So let's find the derivative of h of x. And we'll start with something basic that you don't necessarily need the product rule to find the derivative of. We could FOIL instead. So let's do 3x squared minus 6 times 5x plus 3. So this is obviously the product of two functions, right? I have f and I have g here. Sometimes they're not as easily identifiable, but we're just starting off here. It's okay. So here my f of x function would be 3x squared minus 6. And it doesn't actually matter which one you label which. And g of x would be 5x plus 3. So then below those, I'm going to find their derivatives separately. So f prime of x would be 6x, and then derivative of a constant is 0, so nothing else there. And then g prime of x, the derivative of g, would just be 5. And so then I do crisscross applesauce. So I will to find h prime of x. I will get 3x squared minus 6 times 5 plus 5x plus 3 times 6x. And sometimes, like on an FRQ, you could absolutely 100% stop there because you've done the calculus, right? You found the derivative. But for our purposes and just for practice, we're going to go ahead and simplify this as well. So go ahead, distribute that 5, go ahead, distribute that 6x. So we end up with 15x squared minus 30 plus 30x plus 18, squared, plus 18x. So then I get that 45x squared plus 18x minus 30. So that would be your answer. So that is how you do the product rule in the most basic terms. Unlike the sum and differences, so this is what I was talking about earlier, the derivative of the product is not the product of the derivative. So that is to say that if you wanted to find the derivative of f times g, it does not equal just f prime times g prime. That would be too easy and too sweet, right? So be careful about that. That's a trap some people fall into. Anytime you're trying to find the derivative of a product, you have to do crisscross applesauce. Okay, so that is the product rule. So you're going to go ahead and practice with that first, and then I'll introduce the quotient rule.